So in TopSpin 2k25, what are the best ways to level up your pro? Your career is going to be massive and we need to get up to them levels quickly. So I've been kind of going through all the modes to see what is the most beneficial for time, for XP, what is the best way. Now I've come up with a few different ways, and depending on how much A, you want to grind, and B, you want to do it quickly, there's a few different ways. So the first way I kind of tried was going into exhibition, because obviously as long as you're using your pro, no matter what you do, you're going to get XP for him. So as long as you're using him, that's fine. So I thought, you know what, we'll try him. We'll go against the lowest person and just see what a very easy would do. So for instance, for something like this, if you go into the match settings, I went for a classic tennis and I went for 6 games per set and I went for sets per match 5. So that means I need to win 3 of the matches to be able to do the best of 5. This eventually ended up being around about 250 points and took roughly about 20-ish minutes. Obviously on very easy, you're doing it quite comfortably, and obviously the longer you play, the more XP you're going to be guaranteed. That is what it says on the actual XP gainer. If obviously then instead I went and played for the exact same matches and did that on, say, my hardest difficulty I could do and actually be comfortably winning it, say I could do it on legend, you would guarantee to have more XP. But the problem with that is, are you good enough? Like, I found hard to be a little bit difficult, especially with your pro not being on that level. Once your pro gets up to the level 20, 30 and you're starting to really see skills, fittings, better coaching, then yes, you'd be able to progress. But I'm kind of talking from a very early progression. You are not going to be able to beat like a Federer on hard with a level 2, 3, 4, 5 character, unless you are absolutely insane. But there is even that, you've got the stats. Like, the stats would not compare. Like, we look at the stats there. They're predominantly over the 60s, couple of 90s. My pro's level 5, and I've gone for the all-rounder. We're not even breaking 50s yet. So that is something to always consider. You can obviously kind of change it. I've gone for the all-rounder. If you wanted more power, speed, something to emulate your game style, that's going to work as well. So that was one way. Then I thought, you know what, how about going in doubles? Because surely, if I go myself and someone like Federer, I could then go against somebody. So for instance, say I go into this side, if I can go back again. If I go into the doubles once it's loaded again, I could pick myself and pick Federer as well, and we could go against a doubles. So if I went doubles here, as you see, we'll go for the first spot. I'll go for me, and then obviously I'll go with Federer. I get to choose my difficulty for my person. So if I had legend, I could choose that. But then also I could then go against the lowest 2 here, and I could go with, say, hard. And obviously Federer's going to carry pretty hard as well. That, again, did bits. Like, to be honest, when it comes to the doubles, I got around 200 points for a single game. That, again, if you do it for longer, could be another very good way. Then, so that's all the exhibitions, and I thought, you know what, that's pretty standard. When we look at the actual career mode, because that's what I'm trying to base this off, is it better to do my career and grind up that way, or is it better to do it offline and then take it into the career? Because what I've found is training gives you around about 100 to 150 per training what you do. So that's brilliant, because that takes barely seconds to do. Like, sometimes you can literally do it in a minute. That will be quicker than any game, the most XP you're actually going to get. The special events, roughly for a brand new one, say if I was going to do this one, I haven't done it before, you're roughly looking at about 100 points, kind of maybe give or take a few more or less. That is just for pretty much a one game, getting the points. If you are having to do the same event again, you really only get so much. So as you can see, we're only getting 40 as the reward, plus then the match on top. So it's not very much at all. Then obviously for the tournament, because you're doing a fair few games, you're doing at least 3 games if you're going to go through to the final, you're roughly getting anywhere between 3 to 4, 500, give or take. As you see, if you go up in the tournaments, we can get a bit more of a bonus. If we do manage to get to the championship at Wimbledon, we get 800 XP. But you've got to achieve the star status in that. So obviously the further you go, the better you're obviously going to get for that, and you can progress a bit more. But obviously if you are reaching the star status, which does require different things in the bottom right there with the goals, you're already going to be on a certain level anyway. So that's just something to consider also. So then I thought, okay, my career seems to be the best for the time that you are spending on it. You're not having to do exhibitions, and I suppose you are progressing in your career. So then I thought, you know what, we'll give a bit of online on go. Now, in terms of all of these, obviously the World Tour is going to be the best way, because online exhibition, you are going against pros most of the time, in terms of you get to pick who you want. So likely chances are you'll be going against Federer with your pro. I can tell you I don't want to do that. That is just not going to happen. Then obviously the 2K mode is going for specific selected pros as well. So this isn't actually anything to do with your pro. So you are picking out of the players there. So that for me is not what I want to go for either. So we go for the World Tour. Now this will all depend on how good you are at the game, how progressed your pro is. I personally lost, not comfortably, but I did lose. I'm not going to lie to you. The record is there. I played one match just to see what the points were for losing a match. And I think we had, I want to say I managed to get one game set and they won the rest. It is 3 matches. They won the rest of it. I got roughly around about 210 to 250 points for that loss. But it is frustrating as well, because as much as I like playing games and obviously I want to get better, I don't want to lose every single game online if my player isn't necessarily grinded up to the best capabilities. And as you do progress forward in your career, you will get better. So it's something to always consider that at the start, it might be a bit of a slog. You're getting your managers, you're getting your skills, you're getting your objectives done. That's going to be fine. But you don't want to be losing every single time. So what I would suggest in terms of the best way to grind out this game is I would start off with a little bit of exhibition. I'd kind of just grind up a little bit, maybe get yourself a manager in terms of getting to level 2. You can do that pretty easily. Like that should be 1-2 matches at an absolute minimum, even on very easy. And what I would do then is going on to my career. So then with the My Career, I would then progress through as much as I can on the difficulty I can make. So I started this career off on very easy, just to make sure that I could do it. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting my serves right, my shots back. That's absolutely fine. Then I would suggest once you've done the academy, you've started a little bit of your career, I would then bump it up to something like normal. I think that would definitely be the better place to go. You are guaranteed more XP as you kind of grind through on harder difficulties as well. And if you use your rest system, the career mode is going to be the most efficient and also finishing off kind of what you want to do as well. As you can see, we can go through the whole year, you're resting, you're getting wins left, right and center, and especially with the training, that's going to be a bump up of XP every single week with just literally a minute worth of your time. So that is kind of irreplaceable XP, and that's what really clinches it for me, is that the training gives you that 150, the special event, which is normally one match, that gives you 100, so you're looking at about 250 to 300, and then the final tournament, again depending on your level. If we was to look at my level at the moment on the career, I'm getting 208 plus say around about 100 per match as well, so we're looking anywhere between 500, so that's about 1000 XP give or take on your difficulty every single month of the career, which would really take you, I'd probably say about 20 minutes, to be honest, depending on your level. If you're going on hard, you might have some more rallies. Very easy, you can knock it out the park pretty quickly. So that is kind of where, if you wanted to do it on very easy, it is a little bit boring because predominantly it's a serve, then obviously you either return back if you've not aced it, and that's the point. You're doing that consistently. I like it for XP, but it is boring. And to be honest, there's just no point in that game. So I would at least knock it to normal and just get yourself comfortable there. As you're then progressing, you could go to hard and very hard. And then once you're at a certain level, maybe you're kind of a bit bored of career, I would then suggest going into online and just trying yourself against people there. You can obviously click and see what people are. So for instance, if we was to go into this, we can search for the matchmaking. And before you click ready, you can actually see what the level of the opponent is. So if you're not comfortable that they're way above you, so as you see with this guy, clearly he's got better power, he's got better speed. It doesn't actually tell you the level, but you obviously can just back out of that as well. And then the final way that you can kind of help yourself with a bit of a boost, and it's something that you might not get all the time, I think you get it mainly from the season, is getting something where is it? You've got these boost things that you can use, but honestly, I actually can't remember where you actually get them from. I can show you what I mean to start with, and then what you basically get is almost a double XP. So if you go into the center court pass, I don't know if everybody has this or if this is just generic. I think I've got the premium one from the deluxe edition. You get all of these items as you progress, and as you'll see, you get obviously a VC boost, but then you can also get a XP boost. So as you see there, we get I don't know if it's going to click it, 100% boost for, I don't know how long actually. You do get it somewhere. Let's try and find it, because I know it's somewhere that basically you'll have it for X amount of times. I don't know if it's in the store and you just go from there, so we'll have a look. But that's going to be the only other thing I can think of, is dialing in that 100 XP, really going on a rampage. As you see, you can buy them here as well. So we have... well, we got a 25% XP boost for 5 times 1 match. So that again is going to be 25% for 5 matches. You can purchase that at 125. That isn't going to be terrible if you're not looking to really buy many points either. So that again is something to have a look at the absolute minimum. That's going to give you just better XP in general, but you can't really sustain that every single time. It's something to do definitely at the start. To actually use them, that is another good question, because I have absolutely no clue. You've got to use them somewhere, but honestly, if you was to tell me where, I really don't know. Oh, I found them. Okay, so if you press the button to get the menus up, as you see the top right there, you've got the boosts here. So as you see, I've got the 2 times 100 boost. So are you sure you want this to add to the boost? So this XP increases the amount of XP earned from competitions. A match with MyPlayer, they do not apply to any of the XP gains, such as center course pass or coaches rewards. And obviously that's just going to be active. So I'll click yes to that, activating boost. And then I think I've got another one already active. So I need to manage to finish off that boost to start with, and then obviously I can use the other one. That's going to be from the court pass, but you can go and buy 25% boosts as well. That's going to be everything. Let me know down below if there's any other way that you know, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.